How did 1950s car AC work? Have you ever wondered how air conditioning in cars worked back in the 1950s? It was a time when this feature was a luxury, not a standard. Let's take a closer look at how these systems operated. In the 1950s, automobile air conditioning systems were quite different from what we have today. They were bulky and took up a lot of space under the hood. However, they provided a much-needed escape from the summer heat for those who could afford them. The main components of these systems included several key parts. First, there was the compressor. This device was usually attached to the engine and powered by a belt. Its job was to compress the refrigerant, which raised its temperature and pressure. Next, we had the condenser. Located at the front of the car, often in front of the radiator, it played a vital role in cooling down the refrigerant. As the hot refrigerant passed through the condenser, it released heat into the surrounding air. Then came the evaporator, which was typically found under the dashboard. This component was responsible for cooling the air that entered the car. It worked alongside a fan that circulated the cooled air throughout the cabin. Another important part was the expansion valve or orifice tube. This piece controlled how much refrigerant flowed into the evaporator. The expansion valve allowed for variable restriction, while the orifice tube had a fixed opening. Lastly, there was the receiver-drier or accumulator. These parts filtered and stored the refrigerant. The receiver-drier was used with expansion valves, while the accumulator was paired with orifice tubes. So how did it all work together? The process began with the compressor compressing the refrigerant. This refrigerant then flowed through the condenser, where it released heat. After cooling down, the refrigerant passed through the expansion valve or orifice tube before entering the evaporator. Here, it absorbed heat from the car's interior, cooling the air. The now warm refrigerant returned to the compressor, and the cycle started all over again. In the 1950s, air conditioning was not a common feature in every car. However, it was highly sought after for the comfort it provided. One notable system was the Chrysler Airtemp. This system was advanced for its time, as it drew in outside air and circulated it through small ducts near the ceiling. This design helped reduce the stale air that was often a problem with early automotive air conditioning systems. Looking back, the air conditioning systems of the 1950s evoke a sense of nostalgia. They reminded us of a time when luxury and innovation were just beginning to merge in the automotive world. While these systems were not as efficient as what we have today, they represented a significant step forward in making driving more comfortable. The charm of these systems lies not just in their functionality but also in the style and exclusivity they offered to car owners during that era.